If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Well, welcome back everybody to another episode of Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Yeah, we've got a new bridge for our Nashville project guitar. This is the Leo Jaymz Kit DIY edition Telecaster with the funkiest saddles in the world, Jack. So it has been decided that we are going to replace that bridge. So we have our Wilkinson bridge plate with the brass compensated saddles that we are going to attempt, and the key word is always attempt, to Ted Talks Guitars and Life, to put on this guitar. Should be quite the journey, man. Come on the journey with me, man. Let's hang out. Grab you some popcorn, your favorite beverage, and let's get into it, Jack. Man, I hope that whatever you got going on today, man, you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. Whenever you're watching this, morning, noon, or night, I pray that you are surrounded by people who love and affirm you, man. People who champion you. People who make you want to be a better person, man. Man, life is too short, my friends, not to have good folks on a journey with you. So I'm really praying that you are having a great day. Is this gonna work? Maybe. Well, I wasn't quite prepared for this. The fact that this bridge plate is significantly shorter than this one, I don't think this is gonna work. What do you think? I mean, you can't just put it up here and have these. I guess you could. Alright, guys. Well, ain't nothing left to do at this point but to take these strings and this bridge plate off to see what we got right here, Jack. See if this thing's even gonna work. Alright, here we go. Okay, well, I have two thoughts to share. The first thought is just a reminder, nothing I do is prescriptive for you, just descriptive of my form of crazy when it comes to guitars and life. That being said, my friends, I believe that bridge plate should live right there. According to that line, and if it did live right there, those saddles would be 25.5 from that nut. 25.5. So that's right about where we want that. Guys, I've never done anything like this before. This is probably the most adventurous thing we've done on the channel. I guess the good news is, well, there's several forms of good news in all this. Good news item number one. If we were to drill holes and this not work out, the original bridge plate would cover. That being said, yeah, so that's a little bit of good news. We can always go back to those wonky situations. Maybe I should, let me throw this pickup on there. I just think it'd be easier than trying to hold it and all that. Stand by. Well, my friends, it just occurred to me that in the spirit of my friend Ken encouraging me at every turn to do with this guitar what I would, or set it up the way I would set it up if it were mine, it occurred to me that I would shield the cavities of this guitar, my friends. So that is what I've done. So I recognize that I'm going to need to fill some holes, but before we get too carried away with anything additional, I'm just going to see if yeah, man, you know what I'm going to do? Give me just a second. I have two thoughts at this point. One thought is, had I been just a little bit smarter than I am, I would have worn gloves because I'm getting fingerprints everywhere. The second is that I would not have been so rambunctious as to go so far past over here. So I'm going to have to clean some of that up pretty well, I would think. So because I really don't want any of that sticking out. Let me see about this side. And again, yeah, see how we're going to have some copper on the sides here? It's also on this other side, you can't see it. So I need to employ a little tape cutter. Okay, I feel better about that. I just don't like to see all that shielding when I look down at the bridge plate. Not to worry, guys. This line is just there to help me figure out where I need to live. Yeah. I'm thinking what I can do. When I had this guitar strung up, the strings were right over these pickup magnets. I'm thinking that's a pretty good gauge of where I need to be. Alright, which is serendipitous for us. Now the other thing I'm worried is too strong a term. Alright, I did find, when I took that bridge plate off, there's a nice little dent in the body of that guitar right there, but we're going to call that character Ken. I didn't do it. That was there before. We are going to do something like that. Okay, friends, well, at this point, what I'm wondering is whether or not I should fill those holes or leave those holes. I just don't know if I should fill them or not. I don't think it hurts anything to have them. And if something were to happen, or we ever needed to go back to that other bridge, I think having those holes might be good. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm thinking about that. Man, what are you guys doing today, man? How's your day going? Hey, I don't mind telling you, this is the most hair-raising thing I've done yet on the channel. Not because it's overly complicated, but because it's not my guitar, and I know Ken wouldn't hold it against me if something bad were to happen. But yeah. I just don't. Well, alright, my friends. Since we tell the truth and shame the devil at TED Talks, Guitars, and Life, and because we never, and I mean never, hide our mistakes, not even the super big ones, like this one. Well, it's been a comedy of errors around here, rivaling a Greek tragedy. The first tragedy that we experienced is that I did fill the 3 original holes. Got that going for us. Then I drilled the 4 holes for the new Wilkinson bridge. And guys, those holes were off center. So don't look, Ken, but I had to fill those holes and re-drill them, Jack. Yeah, all in a day's work, my friends, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody saw the mistake, okay? Because maybe something that I'm doing in my crazy adventures, the mistakes that I'm making may help you down the road, Jack. I always want to be very crystal clear about my failure. So the good news is that we have ended up with 4 holes for our bridge that are copacetically aligned. Yeah, man. We did copper shield this cavity. I intend to take this pick guard off and copper shield it as well, and get connectivity from all the cavities to that control plate in the off chance of trying to do some groundage action. So I'm going to do that. I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and normal the bridge up here on my new holes. And yeah, man, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I guess there's nothing left to do but for me to do it. Okay. Stand by. Well, my friends, I just thought I would interject at this point that I am shielding the cavities. I'm also connecting the cavities. There's lots of ways you can do this, and in fact, the way I do it, everybody says is the hard way, and never do it this way. So perhaps you never want to do it this way. But what I do is I take my copper shielding tape and I cut a very thin strip of that tape, and then I pull it through while it's still affixed to the paper, taut, and I'm attaching it then to both sides of this cavity, and I'm doing it on the upside of the hole so that the wire or the tape is on the top, not the bottom, not the sides. That way when I push wire through, more than likely it's not going to be hitting the top of the hole, but the bottom. That's just the way I do it, guys. You do it however you want. Put it in the comments how you do this. I'm going to do it my way. I should interject that if you're looking for another way to do it, you could actually use wire pants on fire, I don't know, and just go ahead and take you some of that and pull that off the ends and run it through, and then put your tape over it, and life should be good for you, man. However you want to do it, you do it, but this is the way I do it. Yep. Okay, well, time to normal all this up. Let me get my soldering iron ready to go. Well, alright, my friends, my soldering iron is ready to go, I think. And I may or may not have left it on all last night, so hopefully it still works in some way. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Sure would. Sure would. Well, alright, my friends, that is one Wilkinson bridge with brass compensated saddles installed on our Leo Jaymz Kit Guitar, our Nashville project. The best part about making a list, my brothers and sisters, boys and girls, friends and family, is marking stuff off that list, Jack. Alright guys, look, that's going to do it for this vid, man. We will come back in the next vid. We will throw strings on this guitar. We will train this bad boy up. We will get to that nut after we do that. Hey man, I really dig hanging out with you guys, man. I hope you dig hanging out with me, man. Put in the comments, what do you think? What did you see? What would you do different, man? Go ahead and share your processes with everybody, man. Man, it's really great to hang out with you. You guys are the best. Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Rock on with your bad selves, everybody. We'll catch you down the road.